right. And so we can cut it and end it.
Sure.
So,
okay. Okay.
Hello everyone, Dr. Ty here from Whole Family Chiropractic, and we are excited for another back to school tip for you this week. At Whole Family Chiropractic, we believe that kids deserve to feel awesome, and that's why we're providing these great back to school tips for you. And this week we have a special guest, Catherine Flesher from Three Treasures, where she specializes in acupuncture and nutrition. And our focus this week is on maximizing your child's immune system. We know a lot of kids, when they go back to school, they're around a lot of new kids, new faces, new germs, new bugs, and immune system can certainly be a challenge this time of year. So why don't you say a little bit, Catherine, about immune system and how you work with kids?
Sure, that sounds great. Well, I think probably the best thing that anyone can do to improve their immune system is to dramatically reduce their intake of sugar. People may not be aware of how weakening sugar is to the immune system. And with kids, there's always someone bringing a treat or offering a sucker at the bank, but really these things take a toll on the immune system. And so it's a change in the palate, it's a change in habits, so it may take a little time to implement a plan, but the more you can reduce sugar in your life and your child's life, your immunity will be stronger.
Absolutely. I think that's a great point of sugar being something that can pop up here, pop up there, especially maybe with the back to school time of year, kids are bringing treats or settling in, or they maybe need some rewards, things like that. And
exactly.
the little pieces at a time can certainly add up.
Yeah, and that's a great point about reward. I think it's really important to reframe reward, because then that can carry over into adult habits too. And then we start putting on extra weight, our health is compromised when is so ingrained in our psyche is that idea of sugar reward.
Definitely, definitely. All right, how about the next tip that you
have for us? Next tip is good old-fashioned chicken soup. And you can, technically meat stocks and bone broths are different, but for simplicity, I'm just gonna kind of lump it together. So there's a lot of folk wisdom, folk traditions of different cultures using chicken soup for convalescence, for helping heal colds and flus. Science is actually looking at this. There are some specific amino acids that really help the immune system, help fight virus. Interestingly enough, there are some components that are not only to be used in the process of healing, but they actually will help to build immunity. So including chicken soup, bone broth in your daily life really would be optimal for health through the cold and flu season. So,
awesome. So it sounds like not just wait till you get sick to have your chicken soup. I know my mom used to make me chicken soup and sure it tastes good when I was sick, but to do it on ahead of time.
Yep. And in the newsletter I've included a quick way to make chicken stock, and I like to keep some in the freezer all the time. It's something you can have a little cup, with each meal or once a day, or make a stew or a soup, and it's just a great thing to have on hand.
Awesome. Yeah, so we will include the recipe for the chicken stock or the bone broth. It's actually something my wife and I make quite a bit, and we find that it's incredibly nourishing. It tastes really good. We'll also use it sometimes maybe if we're cooking some rice or some quinoa, some other different grains. We'll just bring some chicken stock out of the freezer and use it for that instead of regular water. And get some good nourishment there too.
Yeah, so I jokingly refer to it as liquid gold.
It tastes, I don't know what gold, if gold tastes good or not, but I can imagine, as good as it tastes, that it's doing some really good things for my body.
That's right, that's right.
How about tip number 3?
Tip number 3, again, really basic, is sleep. Especially for kids, growing bodies, growing minds, really to integrate all that information and experience that they've, gained through the day, just a good night's sleep. So Chinese medicine really looks at things in terms of yin and yang. So night would be yin, day is yang. You really want to keep those forces balanced to keep your body healthy. Also, really primary to Chinese medicine is staying in harmony with the seasons. And so fall and winter are coming, and it's getting darker and darker, and the natural rhythm is actually to go to bed earlier to get more sleep. I know with busy school schedules that can take some real discipline to actually keep that habit, but it's worth it.
Absolutely. So that's a really good point there. Not only is sleep going to help your immune system, but with the start of the school year, your kids' brains are under a lot of different stresses, trying to learn and process a lot more. And I know sleep is actually when the brain integrates all that new information. So if you don't get a good night's sleep, not only might it weaken your immune system, but it will actually affect your child's ability to process everything he or she learned that day and remember it the next day.
Absolutely, and that's, again, going back to that idea of yin and yang. And I mean, you can think of it too, like when you lift weights, you are breaking down the muscle, but then you need recovery time to actually build that back up. And you know, you could think of it that way in terms of what you're learning too.
Right.
So
building the brain back up.
Building the brain muscles. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Catherine. So we've got 3 great tips for you today. Again, they're summarized in the blog below. And this is a general overview, as I said, at 3 Treasures here. They specialize in acupuncture and nutrition, so they have some really great resources. If someone does want to get more information from you, what should they do?
You can go to our website, www.treasures3.com, and that is the number 3, not the spelled out word.
All right, so treasures3.com. Check them out for more great info. And again, this is Dr. Ty with Catherine Flesher and Dr. Ty from Whole Family Chiropractic, where we believe that kids deserve to feel awesome, and we're helping you guys have an awesome school year this year.